Well, I'll tell you what, might not be a nice day to go out at the saloon and do some shooting, but it is a nice day to stay inside and make a holster. This is going to be another one from the Outlaw Josey Wales. I made the double holster for his 1847 Walkers he carried. Also, he carried an 1849 pocket, but he carried it in a shoulder holster underneath his left arm. Let's take a look at making that and see what it takes and see if we can make it as close to the movie holster as possible. All right, now I wasn't able to find a lot of really good pictures or screenshots from the movie to see exactly what the holster looked like, but I do know it was a shoulder holster. I do know he had thin leather straps across his chest to hold. You have to have it on both arms. You have to have the holster on one side and then another strap on the other side. Otherwise, it's just going to want to slide down your arm. And then he had some thin leather straps that went across his chest there to hold the two sides together. And it probably had something in the back too. It had to have had something in the back. But anyways, a long time ago, I picked up one of these books here. This is How to Make Holsters by Stohlman, and it's a really good not just a beginner's book, but an advanced book too. If you really want to make some holsters, it shows you how to make different holsters. There's also some patterns in here for different holsters. Now, there's not a pattern in here for the holster that he used in the movie, but there is the strap part of it, and we're going to make that. And it's going to be an adjustable strap, so it's going to be two pieces, and then we're going to attach the holster to it, to the piece under the arm there. And we're going to make the holster where it doesn't pull straight up, but actually pulls out of the front. And modern shoulder holsters like that actually have some spring steel in it, which kind of helps retain the firearm in the holster. This one does not appear to have that in the couple little screenshots I found. Another thing I see in the screenshots, it appears that there is a snap in there. Now, snaps were not around in the, at the end of the Civil War, at least not these types of snaps, but I'm pretty sure that's what's on there. So we're gonna go ahead and put a snap on it anyways, and then we'll go from there. All right, now, like I said, in this book, there's a lot of different things in here to show you how to make a lot of different holsters, how to, do the different designs if you want them Canon or whatever, how to do linings in them and everything. There's a whole lot of information in this book, and there are patterns in there. There's also shows you how to do different tooling, basket weaves and stuff, and there's some actual holsters in here too. And we get toward the back here, and this is the one for the shoulder strap. Here's the front part here. This is the part where the holster actually attaches to it. And this is the strap that would go behind the shoulder right in there. And then, like I said, there's going to be something to hold it to the other side, some kind of belts or whatever. So we're going to make these pieces right here, and then we're going to have to make a holster because there's nothing in this book that fits the 1849 pocket. So we got to come up with our own design there. I do notice that in the pictures there's a really thick welt right down here. It only comes up to about there, and then the rest of it is kind of open. And like I said, there's a flap that goes over the top here, and it appears that there is a snap right over beyond this side. But it appears that there is a snap on there, which is kind of sacrilege, I guess, but we're going to go for it anyways. All right, and Weaver does not sponsor me. I wish they did though. That'll be for the shoulder part of it. Now the holster part of it itself is going to be the tricky part. So he wears the gun on the left side with the butt facing forward. So this will be to the left, this will be to the right, this will be up against my chest, rib cage, whatever. And there's going to be, it just folds over almost like a taco shell, but it's going to have a little piece that comes up and goes over the top there and catches on the hammer. And that's the only retention that's really on this holster. And like I said, it appears to me that it is a snap in there and not any kind of Sam Brown button or anything, but an actual snap. Now we'll go ahead and take another sheet of this copying paper. Alright, that gives me an idea of where I need to be. Now I am going to come out about a 1/2 inch or so. This is going to have a thick welt on it here, and the rest of it I don't have to worry about sewing it up because this is going to remain open. The welt will probably come up to about right there, and we'll probably just make a really thick welt to go in that area somewhere, and then the rest of it is just gonna be open, and we'll probably come up with the back of it just a little bit there. I'm not going to have any kind of trigger guard opening or anything, no dip there for it, so it is just going to be right in this neighborhood somewhere. Okay, so there it is. That should fit in there nicely, and that should go across the top there. I may have wanted to change that angle a little bit on that, but I think it'll be okay still. And we need to do the welt, and like I said, the welt is only going to come up to, actually it's going to come up to about right in there somewhere. Looking at the screenshot in the movie, I would say it's going to be right about in there. Okay, there's the line I established on there for where I want my welt to be, and then here's the pattern I cut out for my welt. Now I cut it oversized. The inside line is just where I want it to be, but the outside line, you can see I got a dark line there, and then the cardboard hangs over, the paper hangs over. I want that to be a little bit stick outside there, and then I'll trim it up. That way I get a nice flush fit with the edge of it there. And I'm going to have probably about a 1/2 inch welt in this thing, so I'm going to cut at least 2 layers of some pretty thick stuff with this and get those sewn in there, and that's a lot of thickness of leather to punch holes through, but we can get it done. So now that I got all my pieces established for here except for the straps, and the straps I will actually cut out with my strap cutter, and they'll all be the same width. I think they're 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4, and we'll go from there. All right, I got me a chunk of leather cut out there, and I got a nice heavy chunk right here cut out for the welt, so I'll probably cut 2 out of that, and the rest of it I'll get this put up here and get these traced out and then get them cut out. All right, I got a couple of these push rivets in there. They're just kind of snapped together. I don't actually have them crushed or crimped or whatever, but just they're kind of a neat way to snap things together just to trial fit them. And this is going to get some lacing in there anyways. And to tell you the truth, it's almost just a little bit too small. I guess I could take and move that up some there. I've got plenty of room to shorten that up and make a couple adjustment holes there. And I tried it on, and it looks to me like this holster is going to be sitting pretty darn low on there, but it's not too bad. But I got to get this thing folded over, sewn together, glued up, and all that good stuff before I can determine where it needs to go on the holster. Okay, I've got the holster all stitched up. I've got the snap on there, I've got the strap over there, and it's not going to fall out. Of course, it probably wouldn't fall out with the strap undone anyways, because I think I might have made the welt just a little bit too high, but I think it'll be okay. It can easily be pulled up and outward like that without having to pull it all the way out of the holster. So now I got to figure out where this thing is going to sit or hang on the shoulder part of it. So I'll go ahead and get that put on. Get it to where I think it's pretty comfortable and should be hanging pretty much straight down there. And then this should go right about there-ish. Okay, I've only got one rivet in there holding it, so I can tilt it if I need to, but it should hang just about like that right there. And that looks like it's going to be in a pretty good spot there. He pulls it out both ways, either with his left hand and takes it out, or with his right hand. But it's not too high, I don't think. That's about as low as I'm going to be able to get it to go. I think that'll work, so I'm going to pinch it right there, and then I'll get my other holes marked. And that's fairly straight right there, maybe just tilt a little bit forward, but I'll get my other holes marked on it, and then get a couple more rivets in there, and we'll call that good. I think that'll work. All right, now I've got to get it all taken apart, and then I will have to get it all dyed up and then get it all finalized. All right, there it is. This is my rendition of the holster from the Outlaw Josey Wales. Like I said, nowhere in the movie can you see any of the straps that are on it, on the back, or anything. You only get a couple little shots of it when he's pulling the gun out of the holster. It does appear that there's a snap in there. Now, snaps weren't available until like the 1880s, and this movie should have taken place somewhere in 1865 or so, right at the end of the Civil War. But this is my version of it anyways. There's a few things I'd like to change on it, and in the future I may redo it anyways. But he carried this little 1849 pocket in there, not this one. But it works, it's functional. The strap actually does retain it in there. I did change it out in some of the earlier ones. You'll see I have a silver snap on there. I did find some brass or antique brass ones that I had in one of my little containers. But I got the wrong buckle on this side, and I can change that when I get one later on. This is a silver buckle, and it does not have any kind of keeper on it. I did make the straps an inch longer than what it said in the book, which I wish I would have made them about 2 inches longer, because I've only got a little bit left of adjustment on here. But the back of it is, it's doable, it's functional. I've made one other shoulder holster before, and I actually put some straps on it that hold it to your belt. That way when you go to pull it out, it doesn't pull the holster up. But for just a movie prop, I think it works. Doesn't look too bad. Looks good with the dark brown and the brass and everything on there, and the wood on it and everything. Looks pretty good. Anyways, that's my version of the holster, the shoulder holster that Clint Eastwood used in the Outlaw Josey Wales. Later on, we'll do a review on this little 1849 pocket too. Pretty cool little gun. If you get a chance, hit this button up here to check out some of my other videos. Hit this button right here to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for taking a look at building the Outlaw Josey Wales shoulder holster. Thanks for watching.